You are the Miami Herald's football writer. Football is upon us, and
my picks are coming. They're in
Shockingly,
the incubator.
He's got the Dolphins doing well.
They're
Super
in the
Bowl.
incubator. My picks.
15-2. You got the Dolphins.
Yeah.
What do you got? 13 and
no,
13
I haven't decided yet. 15-2 is a bit of a stretch.
12 and 5.
I'm thinking 11-6 with a possibility of 12 and 5.
Right.
Yeah, they're
But
going to be
winning
really
the Super
good.
Bowl, yes.
Oh,
Right.
listen, what's Buffalo done?
Nothing.
Right? Nothing.
Right.
Zero. Buffalo's
No,
done
man,
nothing.
come on.
More than the Dolphins.
Come on, man. What do you mean? What has Buffalo done?
Buffalo's
we all
done nothing.
regard Buffalo as a good football team going
Yeah.
into the season. All of us would be
Sure.
surprised. None of us would be surprised if Buffalo is a betting favorite to get to the Super Bowl.
They are.
And all of us would be surprised if anyone were out there saying, I think Buffalo is going to be a train wreck or a bad team. They are the cream of the division. The Dolphins have to rise up to where Buffalo is.
Correct. And can. I'm just saying, historically, Buffalo has accomplished nothing that makes you think that they're going to be the Super Bowl champion. They are the betting favorite, Buffalo is. And Josh Allen is all that. I get all that. But they have to prove it. Prove it.
But the Dolphins have to prove it more than Buffalo has to prove it. By leaps and bounds, you can't say the Dolphins are going to win the Super Bowl and Buffalo has to prove it.
What a sports radio argument.
What are
The
you
Dolphins
doing?
have more to prove than the Bills
what are
do.
you
He's
doing?
basically
That's
Donald
right.
Sterling the Bills. What have they done? It's like that.
Well, he's right.
Anderson
I mean-
Cooper's been decent, so have the Bills.
They've made the playoffs. They've won the division. They went to an AFC championship game.
Look, man, this is what
I don't even think they did.
The Dolphins and Buffalo have paralleled each other. For 20 years, the Dolphins have not won a playoff game. For 17 years, Buffalo did not get to the playoffs. Those are enormously long streaks in a league where half the teams get to the playoffs. And after that, Buffalo got Josh Allen, and it got fixed, and they are a Super Bowl contender, and they've been good. They've been a good football team for 4 or 5 years. The Dolphins have not been. You say they've been good because they've been a game or two over 500, but Buffalo has made it to the playoffs and is clearly ascending. For Buffalo, if Buffalo doesn't get to 12 and 5 this season, I'm thinking most people think that's a disappointment.
Correct. Right. You're talking about flimsy expectations, not reality. I'm talking about what will the reality be. I'm just saying right now Buffalo is being oversold and the Dolphins are being grossly undersold. I'm not a betting man, but 8.5 wins for the Dolphins, I would fly on that over.
Wait a minute. Where are you getting Dolphins grossly undersold? Not in this market, they're not. Like this, what is happening around here? There are a couple of people around the country who are looking at the Dolphins and saying they're a sleeper team because they're saying they see the possibility of fireworks on offense. And they're just, all they're doing really is saying, well, the Dolphin defense was pretty good last year. I assume it'll be relatively good, even though those things don't tend to transfer from year to year, neither does health. But okay. And also, Dolphins will be invigorating, interesting on offense. McDaniel will fix some things. The offensive line will be better. And so that's the analysis being done on the Dolphins.
Well, you have a coach saying he's the most accurate quarterback he's ever seen. You have Hill, you have Waddle, you have Gesicki, you have the makings of a really good team. It doesn't always have to be a build-up like it is for Buffalo, where we take these steps. Sometimes a team can surprise and find themselves in the Super Bowl. It can happen like that. They can go from never making it to the playoffs to all of a sudden having a really good team.
But the probabilities do not favor that. The probabilities favor one of the teams that has been good for years because they've got their quarterback situation figured out. We can assume Buffalo, if they get help from the quarterback position, will be great for the next 10 years. You cannot say anything like that about the Dolphins. This thing can implode a month into the season.
I mean, they're already without Byron Jones at the start of the season.
For 4 games.
You're presuming that the Dolphins will carry on being as good at defense as they were under Brian Flores, who I do think deserves a fair bit of the credit for how good they were on defense. They also had a very fluky ability to generate turnovers, which is not something that is replicable year over year, the math has proven. So you're already, the Dolphins' case is already predicated upon they're already good at defense, therefore they will continue to be good at defense, which can be a faulty assumption. But then you're also assuming that they will make a massive step forward offensively, which they've made signings towards improving, but until you see it, how can you have any confidence in it?
The reason they are 8.5 over under The reason that Greg Cody is here saying swirling with these visions of delight in his head, it's going to be easy, and Stugotz or the Super Bowl. The reason it's 8.5 is what he just said. Defense doesn't just transfer from year to year, and then you add offense. Voila! I've gone from a team that's almost in the playoffs to 6 games better. That's not how that works.
Yeah, but sometimes your defense, like, I understand what you guys are saying. Defenses will kind of go up and down, but sometimes you just have a good defense, and maybe the Dolphins do. Okay. And Dan, if you factor in the fact that we think they have a good defense, plus you added a cheetah, I mean, that has all the makings.
But you realize you may indeed be right on this, but you understand that the having of all the makings is a contrivance that isn't where the betting money is.
It means nothing.
The betting money is on 8.5 games is the number they will win, according to people who win or lose money on figuring these things out.
Right. Dan, didn't you have the Dolphins last week making the playoffs? Like, you think they're going to be good too?
I know what happened.
What happened?
My dad and Stugotz have gone flying by Dan, so now Dan has to be the guy that's like, whoa, guys, relax.
You're not going to pull me back. You're not
I
bringing
know,
me
but
back.
this is the position
They're winning
this
the damn thing.
This is the position this show puts me in.
Yep. Love a wet blanket.
Perpetually, yes.
No.
I can
join us.
A couple of weeks ago, Dan's like, I'm kind of big on the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And then Stugotz and my dad
it was crazy.
go flying by them.
Yeah.
That's right.
Super Bowl, Dan. Clearly Super Bowl favorites.
And so where do we go from there? As a show, like
Checkmate.
when you're 4 days before the season, you haven't played a game, and the 2 clowns you do the show
They've
with
been looking good in the preseason,
have already
Dan.
gone to. They're going to win the Super Bowl.
Say back-to-back.
What choices do I have before they played?
All right. So you
Before
had
they
them
played a game, go
40-14.
Undefeated.
40-14 against New England last week.
That's all. That's as far as I'm
At
going.
Ravens.
And it's a
At
ridiculous
Ravens.
prediction. No,
At
Ravens.
I'm not doing
Week
that
2.
yet.
Lamar's playing.
Nope.
Stupid, but
We're
he's
almost
playing.
sponsoring this segment, Dan. We're going to have to fit in or fit out here soon.
My dad is not faking it with the Dolphins because he took Tua in our fantasy league way too high. I think
Someone took Tua with the 4th pick in my draft.
Hello.
The first round.
I
Love
see it.
that.
I swear to God. I was like,
Upside.
what is
Major
happening?
upside for Tua this year. I mean, seriously.
Here's the definition of ridiculous. The definition of ridiculous is that an 8.5 over/under means the betting public thinks the Dolphins are going to be a 500 team, which is impossible with a 17-game season, grant you. But 8.5 times 2 is 17. That means the bet is that the Dolphins are going to be worse than the past 2 seasons, even though they added Tyreek Hill, even though they have their best running game in years, even though they have an above-average defense that is returning all 12 people with the most defensive snaps last year, even though they signed Teron Armstead, the best free agent available. They've had a great offseason, and now you're telling me they're going to be worse than the past 2 years? Ain't going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Impossible.
Because the Dolphins have never had great off seasons before, and it doesn't work out.
They've never signed
This is
Tyreek Hill
different.
before.
This is different.
They've never signed Tyreek Hill before.
Traded for Brandon Marshall.
Just Nick Saban.
He ain't Tyreek Hill.
Woody, one of the great delights of my career here, because the local hour has always been the thing that has mattered to me most, is that we arrive now at the place where this is a delusionally Homer Dolphin hour, and the country is listening to what is happening now because we're a national show that also does local stuff, and they're like, what the fuck is the matter with those guys who think they're just going to waltz into football and they get an offensive lineman and Tyreek Hill and Stugotz and Cody are just in consensus. We're going to win the Super Bowl. Yes, of course. The Super Bowl will be won. No one has played a game. They haven't watched any preseason football. There have been like 4 people hired, and they're like, yep, Super Bowl, easy, done. Do we even have to play the season? This must sound so absurd to all the other markets listening to this show.
I think there are some people that are a bit higher on the Dolphins, but like week 3 is home against the Bills.
Yeah.
Week 4 is at the AFC champion Bengals.
Yeah, first month, very tough.
Then it
First
gets
month.
easy.
I know, but
Gets very easy after that,
I
Chris.
know, but if they don't beat those teams, then they're not who you say they are.
You come
they're
out
not
of
a
those-
team that's making an improvement.
You try to get through those games, those 4 games at 2-2. And then you have like the easiest schedule in the NFL.
Not like literally 5 to 12,
Seriously, right.
the easiest schedule.
Yes.
Well, then 13 picks up again. We've
I'll
gone
even
over
take
this.
1 and 3. Hey, 1-3 start?
No,
no problem.
no.
problem.
If this is the
get
team
out of
that's
here.
going
Little
to
1-3.
No.
Wow, little 1-3.
No.
They could be
1-3.
7-4,
Please.
like that.
Yeah.
1-3
Okay.
start, 7-4, like they're like this.
that.
All right, no, you got to go Tua and
that.
Tua to start the season.
There you
Tua,
go.
Tua,
That's
Tua,
fine.
Tua,
Tua.
Tua.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Tua
I see what
and
you did
Tua.
there.
Yeah.
What do you guys
well
say about
done.
that?
Right.
You
It's a
just
must.
got to get to the dance, guys.
All right.
That's all you got to do. Get to the playoffs and be healthy. You know what I mean? There's no point in winning 16 games in the regular season. Unnecessary. Don't need to do it.
Do you know Josh Allen has almost twice as many touchdowns against the Dolphins than he has against any other opponent? He has 21 touchdowns in 8 games against the Dolphins.
What's
They're
that mean?
7-1.
Yeah.
What have
great.
the Bills proven?
Mm-hmm.